Porsche, the badge that promises engineering greatness. But not every Porsche wearing that crest will love you back. Some are money pits that drain your bank account faster than they drain a tank of premium fuel, while others are bulletproof machines you could happily hand down to your grandchildren. Today we count down the 4 worst and the 6 best Porsches to own, ranked not on opinion but on real-world reliability, the true cost of ownership, owner reports, and the specialist mechanics who spend their days elbow-deep in these engines. Whether you are shopping for your first Porsche or quietly wondering whether the one already in your garage is a keeper or a lemon, this could save you tens of thousands of dollars. Get this right, and a Porsche is one of the most rewarding things you can own, but get it wrong, and it becomes a relentless drain. So the homework you do before you buy matters more here than almost anywhere. We begin with the ones to approach with real caution. Let us count them down. Worst number 4, the Porsche 996 Carrera. This is the cheapest way into a real 911, and it is cheap for a reason that should make you cautious as an owner. The water-cooled flat 6 in these cars, the M96, carries the infamous intermediate shaft bearing, the IMS, and if that bearing lets go, it does not just stop the car, it destroys the entire engine. A replacement runs anywhere from $12,000 to $20,000, which is often more than the car's worth. On top of that, you have rear main seal leaks, and on some examples, bore scoring that quietly kills compression. None of this means the 996 is a bad car to drive. It is wonderful, but to own one safely, you must budget for an IMS retrofit and a careful inspection, because an unsorted 996 bought purely on its tempting price is a gamble with 5-figure stakes. The most vulnerable cars use the single-row bearing, and the smart move is to have the upgraded bearing fitted during a routine clutch change for around $2,000 to $2,500, which permanently removes the worry. Listen for a cold knock that points to bore scoring, watch oil consumption, and insist on a specialist inspection and a documented history. Buy a 996 that has already had the IMS solved and you have a bargain 911. Buy a cheap, unsorted one on impulse and you are gambling with the whole engine. The good news is that the later cars fixed this very engine, so the flaw is now well understood and entirely manageable on a properly sorted example. And the only real trap is the cheap, undocumented car that tempts a first-time buyer who has skipped the homework. Go in with your eyes open or not at all. Worst number 3, the Porsche 928. On paper, this is a hand-built V8 Grand Tourer that was once the most expensive car Porsche sold, and today you can buy one for the price of a used family hatchback. That bargain is exactly the trap. The 928 is gloriously complex, and parts are increasingly scarce and expensive. The cooling system is full of components that fail with age and can cost several $1,000s to overhaul. The timing belt is an interference design that destroys the engine if it snaps. And the sophisticated period electronics throw faults that take a true specialist to chase down. Water from blocked sunroof drains is a classic killer here, quietly destroying control modules that sit low in the body, so damp carpets are a serious red flag. Realistically, you should budget several $1,000s a year just to keep one healthy, and you genuinely need a 928 specialist on speed dial because a general garage will be lost. A well-kept, fully documented S4 or GTS is a magnificent and surprisingly fast thing to own. A neglected one bought on price is a bottomless pit that will swallow far more money than the car will ever be worth. Parts that were once shared with humbler models are steadily drying up, and the specialist labor to chase its period electronics is neither cheap nor quick, so the true running costs sit far above what that modest purchase price ever suggests, and this is a car you buy with a thick history folder or you walk away. Worst number 2, the first-generation Cayenne, the S and Turbo. The early Cayenne, built through the 2000s, is the ultimate cheap V8 Porsche bait, and the running costs are exactly why those prices look so tempting. The headline killer is a set of plastic coolant pipes nestled in the engine valley that grow brittle and fail, dumping coolant and risking an overheat, with the proper fix being a labor-heavy upgrade to aluminum that can run $2,000 to $4,000. Then there is the transfer case and propeller shaft bearing, the air suspension that sags and leaks, and a thirsty V8 that drinks premium like water. The propeller shaft center bearing fails with an unmistakable vibration and droning. The air suspension sags overnight and the compressor burns out. And the 4.5 and 4.8-liter V8s return fuel economy that will genuinely shock you. Individually, each repair is survivable, but on a neglected car, they queue up together and quickly exceed what you paid for the whole truck. Buy one of these cheap and you are not saving money, you are simply deferring a stack of expensive jobs that all tend to arrive at once. Treat the cheap, unloved ones as project cars rather than bargains, because the moment 2 or 3 of these jobs land together, they can eclipse the value of the whole truck, and a general garage is quickly lost among the complexity, tying you to specialist rates you did not plan for. Only a documented example with the coolant pipes already upgraded and the known weak points addressed is worth owning. Worst number 1. The first-generation Panamera. This is the worst Porsche to own for one brutal reason: it punishes you twice. First, it depreciates savagely, with early cars losing the vast majority of their original value, which is precisely why you can pick one up so cheaply today. Then, once you own it, it bleeds you on upkeep, because underneath that big body sits complex air suspension, a sophisticated dual-clutch gearbox, twin turbocharged engines on many trims, and a dense web of electronics, every one of which is expensive when it fails. A cheap, out-of-warranty first-generation Panamera combines the lowest possible purchase price with some of the highest running costs in the lineup, and it is genuinely difficult to sell again when you have had enough. Early examples have shed roughly 60 to 70% of their original value, which feels like a gift until the first big bill lands. The air struts leak, the dual clutch and the turbos are expensive when they need attention, and the electronics are dense enough that diagnosis alone costs real money. Worst of all, when you decide you have had enough, the next buyer knows exactly what these cost to fix, so you take another beating on the way out. Set it against the simpler, more focused Porsches on the good half of this list, and the contrast is stark, because the Panamera asks you to maintain a luxury limousine's worth of complex systems on a budget its low price never actually provided. Cheap to buy, costly to keep, and hard to move on. That is the trifecta you want to avoid. Now that we have covered the Porsches that will have you on first-name terms with your specialist, let us shift gears to the good news, the Porsches that genuinely reward you for owning them. Best number 6, the Porsche Macan, the petrol version. If you want the easiest possible Porsche to live with every single day, this is it. The combustion Macan is a premium compact SUV that drives far better than any crossover has a right to, while being practical, comfortable, and genuinely dependable as a daily driver. It is the car that quietly converts new owners into lifelong Porsche people. Keep on top of the routine servicing, choose a well-maintained example, and a petrol Macan asks very little of you while giving back a real Porsche driving feel in a usable, all-weather package. Whether you choose the 4-cylinder, the punchy V6, or the sweeter GTS, it shrugs off school runs, road trips, and bad weather in a way no sports car can. The main things to watch are simply the early infotainment quirks and routine wear items, none of them frightening. It is the Porsche you can hand the keys of to anyone, park anywhere without fear, and still enjoy on a good road. Because it's sold in huge numbers, there is a deep competitive used market, so you can afford to be choosy. Hold out for a fully documented example and still pay a sensible price for the most usable car the company makes. As a first Porsche or a no-drama daily, nothing else in the range comes close. If you enjoy this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Best number 5, the Porsche 944. Step back a few decades and you find one of the most rewarding classic Porsches you can own, especially in S2 and turbo form. The 944 uses a robust 4-cylinder engine mounted up front with the gearbox at the rear, giving it a near-perfect balance that still shames plenty of modern machinery. Values are climbing as the world wakes up to how good they are, yet they remain attainable. The one rule is simple: stay religiously on top of the timing and balance shaft belts, because that single service is what stands between a faithful classic and a destroyed engine. The turbo-badged 951 brings serious pace, while the S2's larger, naturally aspirated engine is wonderfully torquey and a little simpler to live with. A combined belt and water pump service runs only a few hundred to around $1,500 at a good independent trivial next to the engine it protects, and parts support remains strong. Prices have been climbing steadily for years, so a clean car bought now is likely worth more later. Do that, and you have a true driver's car rather than a garage ornament, one that is happy to be used hard on a back road, which is exactly why the 944 has become such a rewarding and steadily appreciating slice of Porsche history. Best number 4. The Porsche 997.2 Carrera. This is the 911 that fixed the very flaw that landed the 996 on our worst list. From 2009, Porsche fitted an all-new direct-injection flat 6, the 9A1, which eliminated the intermediate shaft bearing entirely, taking the single biggest ownership worry off the table for good. What you are left with is a modern, fast, beautifully built 911 that is reliable enough to drive every day, available with the brilliant dual-clutch gearbox, and still analog enough to feel pure. It still has hydraulic steering and a relatively simple cabin, so it drives with a purity the newest cars have traded away, yet it is new enough to be fast, efficient, and easy to maintain. The direct injection engine can build some carbon over high mileage, addressed by an occasional intake clean, But there is no catastrophic failure mode lurking the way there is on the earlier cars. Values have already bottomed and started to firm up, which tells you the market agrees. Among people who actually live with these cars, the 997.2 is repeatedly named the sweet spot of modern 911 ownership because it cured the very flaw that haunts the 996 and lets you enjoy a modern, usable, everyday 911 with genuine peace of mind. It is the one to buy if you want all of the magic and none of the fear. Best number 3. The Porsche 718 Cayman, especially the 981 and the GTS 4.0. Ask a room full of instructors what handles best for the money, and a Cayman comes up again and again. The mid-engine layout gives it balance that even the 911 cannot quite match, and crucially, the naturally aspirated flat 6 in the 981 and in the later GTS 4.0 carries none of the bearing anxiety of the early cars. It is reliable, it is relatively simple, and it is one of the last truly pure driver's cars you can buy. The earlier 981 uses a free-revving, naturally aspirated flat 6, while the later 982 line offers turbocharged 4s and, in the GTS 4.0 and the Cayman GT4, a glorious naturally aspirated 4-liter 6 that is one of the great modern Porsche engines. Running costs are modest by Porsche standards, the cars are mechanically straightforward, and they hold their value because every enthusiast knows how good they are. A well-kept Cayman is a Porsche you can own with complete confidence and drive hard without a second thought, and with modest running costs by Porsche standards and resale values that stay strong because every enthusiast already knows how good they are. It is one of the smartest performance buys on this entire list, which is exactly what these cars were built for. Best number 2. The Porsche 993. This is the last of the air-cooled 911s built through the late 1990s, and the last to be largely hand-assembled. To many enthusiasts, it is the emotional peak of 911 ownership, the final expression of the original recipe before water cooling arrived. It is also genuinely robust, free of the intermediate shaft worries that followed, and values have climbed relentlessly for years, so a good one is as much an investment as a car. There are things to check, the secondary air system and the valve guides among them, but a sorted 993 is about as bulletproof and as desirable as a classic 911 gets. It introduced the multi-link rear suspension that transformed the way a 911 drives, and even today, a 993 feels tactile and alive in a way modern cars struggle to match. Good examples have moved well into 6 figures and show no sign of falling, so careful ownership genuinely pays you back. The known checks are the secondary air passages and the valve guides on higher mileage cars, both manageable with the right specialist. It rewards careful ownership twice over, once every time you drive it, and again every time you glance at its rising value, which is a rare and lovely thing in any car. Own one well and it will only become more cherished. Best number 1. The modern Porsche 911, the 992 and the late 991. When everything is weighed, the best Porsche to own is still the car the badge was built around. Today's 911 takes everything that made the legend and makes it usable every day with a turbocharged flat 6 that is both ferociously fast and remarkably reliable, a cabin you can live in, and the kind of build quality and residual value that shames almost every rival. It is quick enough to embarrass supercars, calm enough for the daily commute, and engineered to cover enormous mileage with simple maintenance. Every other car on this list, the good and the bad, is ultimately measured against this one. Service it on schedule and it will cross 200,000 miles without drama, all while holding its value better than almost anything else on 4 wheels, so even the depreciation works gently in your favor. It is equally happy crawling through city traffic, crossing a continent overnight, or attacking a mountain road at the limit, and it asks for nothing more exotic than clean oil and the right tires. It has been continuously refined rather than reinvented, so every generation quietly banks the lessons of the last, and the result is a sports car with no real weak spot left to ambush you. There's a reason the 911 has survived and thrived for over 60 years while rivals have come and gone. No other car blends this much speed, everyday usability, proven reliability, and residual strength into a single package, which is precisely why it has no real rival and why it crowns this entire list. If you can put a clean, well-served modern 911 in your garage, you are buying the most complete, most rewarding, and most dependable Porsche there has ever been. This is the one to own. Let us quickly recap so you can shop with clear eyes. On the side to approach with real caution, the 996 with its intermediate shaft lottery, the gorgeous but complex and parts-hungry 928, the first-generation Cayenne with its failure-prone coolant pipes and thirsty V8, and the first-generation Panamera, which depreciates savagely and then bleeds you on upkeep. And on the side to seek out, the everyday friendly petrol Macan, the appreciating and characterful 944, the 997.2 that engineered the IMS problem away, the brilliant mid-engine 718 Cayman, the hand-built air-cooled 993, and above them all the modern 911, the most complete Porsche money can buy. Notice the pattern, because the cars to avoid are the complex, depreciation-hammered ones bought cheap and neglected, while the cars to seek out are the focused, well-understood Porsches that reward proper care. One last thing that decides everything. Even the best Porsche on this list needs a caring owner, which means religious oil changes, a trusted specialist rather than the cheapest shop, and small problems fixed the moment they appear rather than left to grow. Buy the cleanest, best documented example you can find, look after it properly, and the right Porsche will reward you for decades. Buy the wrong one on price alone, and it will teach you an expensive lesson. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.